Welcome back, everybody, to TB Sports 27 second half action here in the Arena Football League. Week number 10, the unbeaten 9-0 Grand Rapids Rampage in a bit of a shocking fight right now. Taking on the 4-5 New York Dragons with their backup quarterback, albeit a very veteran, experienced 15-year backup quarterback. But they have just a 3-point deficit to overcome, and they have been playing, especially on defense, they've been playing toe-to-toe with our Grand Rapids Rampage, which is something this team has not experienced all year long. This team has been pretty dominant the entire season, but here on their home turf with nothing to lose, the New York Dragons putting a fight in. We have a pass out to Mr. Lester Williams, who already has a major touchdown today. He had a monster touchdown the first half. Go check that out in the first half video, TV Sports. Glad to have you guys here, whether you're joining us for the second half, whether you checked out the first half and the second half. We had Dan the Man in the chat. There's Aaron Bailey. Wow. My goodness. New York Dragons, they want that lead back, don't they? Tossing it to Bonner, and it is a touchdown for Cornelius Bonner. So the New York Dragons, man, you should have known something weird was going to happen on the opening drive of this game back in the first half, and you guys can check that out in the archives either on Patreon or on YouTube. But it was quite a first half where the New York Dragons put one of the wildest goal line stands I've ever seen in my time watching arena football, and well, they have reclaimed the lead, and we are going back and forth. This, I feel like, is going to be one of those classic arena football games. Like, we've had so many blowouts, right? But this is going to be one of those classics. Unless we can just figure out a way to slow this thing down. And, well, I mean, look at that. How many times this season, in our 9-0 season, have you seen the stats going in the favor of the opposing team? Stafford trying to get the lead, and well, there you see home field advantage coming into play for the New York Dragons. That unique end zone. If you're playing at home in Grand Rapids, that's a touchdown with the wall going right up against the back of the end zone. Here in New York, though, with that open end, foot goes on the line, referees call it out of bounds. A unique atmosphere and home field advantage. I was about to say that was one of the better throws that Shane Stafford has actually thrown today. He has been way off for a man that pretty much wins MVP every time he steps onto the field here this season. But man, he has missed on some throws, and well, the Rampage find themselves on a third down here, and it's going to be intercepted. The second time that Juan Mose picks it off, and the Grand Rapids Rampage are on upset alert. Sparky's getting fired up. This is the worst that this team has played all year long, and 10-0. Might just be a fantasy at this point. Hamill, the backup quarterback with 15 years experience, been on about 20 different teams. And we have another injury for the Rampage. Oh, it's Chris Oldham. That's who was injured earlier. So Oldham came back out and then gets injured again. There's the numbers for Hamill. 12 of 16. We have not been able to shut this man down. And Hamill looking for the upset. It is knocked away. Brilliant job by Willis Marshall, who came in and knocked that one to prevent the Dragons. And Chris Oldham, by God, he's going to try to come back out here. He is going to try to come back out here. He says, I don't care that I've been injured twice. Get me in there a third time. Hamill, incomplete, and we got 4th down. What do you do if you're the Dragons? They're going to go ahead and take the field goal. Interesting debate here. Because it really, a field goal doesn't do a whole lot here. You know, going for it, you maybe can put this game away against the undefeated team, but you got an undefeated team on the ropes, I can also see. Here's the other thing that's crazy. There's Grosh with another really good return. You look at the scoreboard, 14 points on offense, 3 from special teams, actually 10 from special teams from the kick return and the field goal. So it's not like the offense, okay, we're playing okay, 24 points. No. Guys, it's 14 points on offense for a team that is the #1 team in the league, putting up 50, 60, 70 points. Oh my goodness, Stafford delivered a gem, and it's dropped by Willis Marshall. Oh my goodness, and this struggle continues for the Grand Rapids Rampage. He's gonna try for Damian Grosh, and it's knocked away. Oh my goodness, I have not felt this all season. We got to pick something here. We got to pick something different. These defenders for the New York Dragons are unreal right now. Willis Marshall, he makes the catch, and it's a touchdown. Rashad Floyd looked like it was going to be another deflection, and Willis Marshall stops the hurt for the 3rd offensive touchdown of the game for the Grand Rapids Rampage. That will tie it up at 31 apiece. Whew. We're not out of this one yet. It's going to come down to this 4th quarter, everybody. There's Mo. Is that guy? I want that guy on my team. 2 interceptions. Face mask going to be called against Hawkins. Ahmad Hawkins called for the face mask, and he's not happy. Hawkins trying to come in. Gillis Wilson just like, all right, settle down, settle down. Trying to get Hawkins back. Wow. Okay. Forget about what's happened in the first 3 quarters. It's a fresh game. It's basically overtime. We're going to the 4th quarter tied. Best team's going to win this one. And what a quarterback sack by Randy Jackson. Jackson comes in with the sack. That's big business right there. Nicely done. Get a few more of those. We'll be in a good spot. 2nd and 14. Hamill under duress, and he gets brought down again. Back-to-back quarterback sacks for Hamill. Third down, and Hamill gets sacked one more time. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better defensive performance right there. That was our team bucking up. The 3rd quarter comes to an end. This is the tightest contest we've had in arena football so far. 31-31 Grand Rapids, New York. If you want to relive any of the action from the first 9 weeks and see when this Rampage team actually could score points, check out our YouTube page in the archives. Check out our Patreon page if you want to get the full streams, unreleased content, extra content, bonus content is all up there. Streamlabs, Ko-fi as well. We stream live on Twitch, so join us live, and we tweet with you guys. We tweet when we're going live on Twitter. It's an easy follow. I don't tweet too much. I mainly tweet when we're going live, so that is a good place to be if you want to know, because I got folks like SK Money, who's not on, who scanned me again. he says he doesn't get the Twitch notification. And I can check the analytics and see how many people click on Twitch notifications to actually join us for one of our Twitch streams or not. So if you don't have the Twitch notifications, check out Twitter. That's the next best place to know when we are going live. So fourth quarter, 31-31. It's basically sudden death at this point now. Willis Marshall hangs on to it and gets driven into the boards by Rashad Floyd. This is going to be an interesting fourth quarter. Can we flip our fortunes? The defense with an amazing stop. Stafford pressured, got it away to Fleming, who nearly gets it into the end zone. What a heads-up play by Shane Stafford. And you can see where we are nearly averaging 60 points a game. And credit, tip your cap, tip your waitress, try the veal to this New York Dragon defense. That's a late hit. Credit the New York Dragon defense. They have played extremely tough in this one. But they've just allowed a Chris Ford rushing touchdown. And that'll give Grand Rapids the lead back. Whew. Anyone else stressed? Hey, we had a new follow on Twitch yesterday. King Wolf 235. Appreciate that. There's Mose. All right. See what happens with this one. We had 3 sacks on the last drive.
First and 10. Ball on the 7-yard line.
Hamill won't take the sack that time. He gets it away to Aaron Bailey.
Bailey with the reception. 7-yard gain on the play.
4 minutes left. Time is of the essence right here. You can't afford, you've got to score. You've basically got to match. And it's another quarterback sack by Jackson.
Third and 7. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Man, this defense in the second half. How crazy. Oh, it's going to be tipped. And it's caught by Lester Williams. So fourth down, you have to go for it if you're the Dragons. They're going to kick this one away. Wow. I don't know, the AI, man. I think you have to go for it. It's going to be no good. So now you just give a bonus possession here to our Rampage. Now, to be fair, not lighting the world on fire with points. You can easily come up with a stop. But
First and 10. Ball on the 9-yard line.
38-31, Stafford. Going deep to Marshall. Incomplete. That might have clinched. I don't know. We'll see. Would that have clinched it 3 minutes? I personally think it was a huge mistake. I mean, I'll take it, but I think it was a huge mistake giving us this bonus possession here. Stafford. Damian Grosh. Wide open. Touchdown. I was just about to say that Shane Stafford hasn't had the greatest success here today trying to throw the ball deep, but maybe we got to try to do some dink and dunk and get conservative. As soon as I was about to say that, Damian Gross was wide open, and that is exactly why you can't give Grand Rapids an extra possession. It is now a 2-touchdown lead. That's still in arena football, very easy to overcome. It's going to be fumbled, and I think Mose came up with it. That would have been a game changer. That would have been it. Very easy to overcome 2 touchdowns in arena football. You have a little luck on your side, but it can be done. Hamill knocked away. Boy, Hamill has been he's been just mobbed here in the second half. Not the slam ball team. Plenty of time for Hamill. And open is Bonner. Cornelius Bonner had 3 rampages around him, but also nowhere near him at the same time. And the Dragons are not going away, but the thing is now, you got to overcome this extra possession by going for the field goal. Rather than going for it, you kind of put yourself in a hole here. So it's back to a 7-point possession. This is this is what arena football is all about. For those of you that maybe had never seen arena football before, you were seeing all the blowouts we were having. This is normally what arena football is like. And there's another unique atmosphere of this arena. Any other arena with the boards right up against the back of the end zone, there's no way that Grosh can field that one. But because of the open-ended end zone here in Nassau Coliseum, he has the chance to field that one out of the net when it falls through. So very unique situation here in this one. Shane Stafford almost looking for an identical play. Can't find anybody open and just eats that one for a sack. And Shane Stafford was trying to throw the ball away and couldn't figure out what button it was to throw the ball away. He's clicking all of them. So the New York Dragon defense comes up tough. They're calling their timeouts early. They're not saving them for after the 1-minute warning. So we can't celebrate yet. Dragons are going to make us earn this one. Stafford. For Marshall. Incomplete. And it's 3rd down and 10. 3rd and 17, rather. Forgot about that sack. 3rd and 17. Stafford. Marshall left open. A major breakdown in the defense for the New York Dragons. And that will take us. No, I think did they call a timeout? Yeah, the AI in this game leaves a lot to be desired. No reason to take a timeout there to stop the clock because it's going to wind down anyway to the 1-minute warning. So you save 2 seconds. So that was a very stupid timeout. Back to a 14-point lead, so you're pretty much down to, I would imagine, 4-down territory as well as onside kick territory if you were to get a touchdown on the board here. So we'll see how the Dragons play it. Win or lose, though, I mean, this is a valiant effort and the biggest fight that we've had this season, especially going into the 4th quarter. So Shane Stafford, through all the ups and downs, is going to end up being credited with the player of the game. He's certainly putting his MVP bid in for this season. So we got Todd Hamill, and Hamill nearly threw that one right into the hands of Chris Angel. Hamill's really felt the pressure here in the second half. No doubt about that. This Grand Rapids Rampage defense has come to play. Hamill to Aaron Bailey, 1st down. You need 2 touchdowns, though, so still really good numbers for Hamill. A win for the Dragons. They go to 5-5. A loss, and the Dragons fall to 4-6. And Aaron Bailey, I don't know what he was seeing out of his peripherals, because he had an open path to the end zone and juked right into a Rampage defender. Hamill, incomplete.
The pass ball's incomplete.
19 seconds, still time in this one.
Ball on the 18-yard line.
Have to go for the onside kick. Oh my God, Aaron Bailey.
Incomplete pass.
I don't know if it's because he was looking over his shoulder or what, but
3rd and 10. Ball on the 18-yard line.
I mean, that was touchdown written all over it. Hit him right in the hands and falls to the turf. There's a touchdown, though. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Touchdown.
I'm gonna call a timeout because I want this one to be interesting. I've gone back and forth with this, and I think I've done this in my last series too, but the clock is supposed to stop. I don't want to go into this in every single video. The clock's supposed to stop with the 1-minute timing rules. It's not supposed to wind right there with 2 seconds left. But there would almost be like no time left to do an onside kick. So for the sake of it being an interesting ending, for the sake of the fact that the clock should stop, I'm going to give the Dragons a shot, because this is me tipping the cap. If they can get the onside kick, more power to them. They got a shot at it. It is going to be recovered by Willis Marshall. So we have to pick up 1 first down. And if we do, the game is over. Clock stops in arena football. If you don't gain, well, the clock runs. I'm going to call a timeout. I want to have a challenge. It's not right that the timing rules are broken in this game. As good as this game is, that's like the biggest flaw. And they didn't even fix it in the sequel. They Road to Glory, they still had the thing broken. We get the first down. No, so they'll stop the clock. I don't know if there's going to be enough time left. I mean, maybe you can dance around here and take a throw.
2nd and goal. Ball on the 10-yard line.
But I think too much time is wound down. But, boy, the New York Dragons. Yeah, even with the 4 seconds in there, that's got to be a first down. That's got to clinch it. It is. That is going to do it, guys. 10-0. It was a battle to get to 10-0. But the Grand Rapids Rampage, 52-45, are going to move to 10-0. Now we got to look at what the other black and red team is doing on the other side, on the national side, because they were 9-0 also. And I think all signs continue to point to an Orlando Predators Grand Rapids Rampage Arena Bowl. But we're going to take a look at those numbers. We're going to take a look at the scores, the standings, everything here in TV Sports Land. Let's take a look at Shane Stafford's numbers, because he was player of the game. Let's see what he finished of. 11 of 28, 5 touchdowns. Pretty ugly stuff. It's way below his standards, but he'll take another MVP. Here come your Week 10 scores in arena football. We got the Philadelphia Soul moving to 6-4. There's your Rampage. Perfect. 10-0 on the year. I've never been 10-0 in this game ever. All the years I've been playing it, I've never been 10-0. The Utah Blaze pick up the win over the Tampa Bay Storm. The Dallas Desperados with a 20-point win. They move to 6-4. The Georgia Force moving to 500 with their win over the New Orleans Voodoo. We have the Colorado Crush pulling off the upset win over the Nashville Cats. We got Colorado next week. And there you see, you talk about upsets. There must have been something brewing today, because between the game we just had, the Crush game, and this Arena Bowl 20 rematch, Chicago Rush, Orlando Predators, and it wasn't even close. The Rush get just their 3rd win of the year, and Orlando falls from the ranks of the unbeaten, meaning the Rampage are your lone remaining undefeated team in the league. Speaking of Arena Bowl rematches, these two have played in 2 separate Arena Bowls. The Rattlers getting the win to try to keep their season alive here. The Gladiators, they're going to get upset by the LA Avengers in a high-scoring battle. So we'll take a look at the standings as far as the playoffs. I think we're pretty close to clinching this thing. I mean, there's still 6 games left, so I suppose you can fall to 10-6. And, you know, the Cats, the Blaze, the Gladiators, there's still some teams that can win out. But really, our competition, if we knock off Colorado, it's pretty much a 4-team race. I think if we knock off Colorado, we clinch the postseason. And then it's going to be seeding at that point, depending on home field advantage and all that, if we want to keep winning. Because if Colorado falls to 5-6, right? And we win, then we'd be 11-0. The worst we can do is finish 11-5, and there'd be nobody that can catch us at this point. So next week's going to be huge. A win for the Colorado Crush guarantees us a playoff spot. We still got to play for seeding. Meanwhile, the Gladiators, the Blaze, and the Cats all in the mix. On the national side, it's way more wide open. It's the Predators and the Desperados. But then after that, the Force, the Voodoo, the Destroyers, the Soul, even the Dragons, who we just had that competitive game on, they are still alive in this thing. So a lot can still happen in arena football. You guys don't want to miss a second of the action. Week 11 coming up next. We can clinch the postseason with a victory in this one. The Grand Rapids Rampage and the Colorado Crush coming up next time on TV Sports 27. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support of TV Sports 27. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're watching this one on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow as well and check out our new Patreon tiers that we got. We shuffled up some of the perks and things that you guys might like and enjoy, so check that out. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, we'll see you guys next time.